What was the legacy of the Cold War on Eastern Europe? What was the legacy of the Cold War on Eastern Europe? The Cold War was a time of great tension between the United States and the Soviet Union. This period greatly shaped Eastern Europe, especially during the 1950s. Most countries in this region were under the influence of the Soviet Union. Nations like Poland, Hungary, East Germany, and Czechoslovakia had communist governments. The Soviet Union maintained control through military presence and economic power, impacting the daily lives of millions. One of the most striking legacies of the Cold War was the physical barrier that separated East and West. The Berlin Wall was built in 1961 to stop East Germans from fleeing to the West. This wall became a powerful symbol of division. It represented not just a physical barrier but also the ideological split between Eastern and Western Europe. Economically, the Cold War left a lasting mark on Eastern Europe. The Soviet Union's model focused on state control and central planning. This approach often led to stagnation and inefficiency. Many Eastern Bloc countries faced lower living standards compared to their Western neighbors. This economic struggle contributed to widespread dissatisfaction and eventually led to political changes. Looking back, the Cold War era might bring to mind a time of clear ideological divisions. However, it is essential to remember the harsh realities of life under communist regimes. People faced limited freedoms, economic challenges, and the constant threat of political repression. Today, the legacy of the Cold War still influences Eastern Europe. The fall of communism in the late 1980s and early 1990s marked a significant shift. Countries began transitioning to democratic governance and market economies. This change came with its own set of challenges, including economic restructuring and joining the European Union. Despite these hurdles, many Eastern European nations have made notable progress, experiencing economic growth and improved political stability. In the context of 1950s American history, the Cold War was a defining aspect of the political scene. The United States played a significant role in shaping the post-war world. This included forming the North Atlantic Treaty Organization and supporting democratic movements in Eastern Europe. The 1950s are often remembered with a sense of nostalgia for the clarity of purpose that defined American society during this time. However, it is important to balance this nostalgia with an understanding of the complex realities faced by those living in Eastern Europe during the Cold War.